folks, so I thought I'd do a quick update. I'm actually going to be headed out on a pick, or following a lead rather, out in Saskatchewan. So I'm probably not going to film the location necessarily. Well, I may film it, but I won't be releasing the footage until later, until after I'm kind of done picking in that area. And have followed up the lead and exhausted the potential for the lead, of course. I'll be showing you some of the finds and the like, but like I said, I won't be revealing exactly the location. Anyway, so I'll be doing that in the coming days. And let's see what else has been happening. Made some sales over the past few days. One sale on Etsy. You may have seen me do a video about selling and scrapping keys and how to make more money scrapping those. Well, I just sold 3 lots of 25 keys each for $60 US. So 75 random keys, unsorted, all different, for $60 US, which is about, I think, 80 Canadian, something like that. So pretty good for keys. Also sold a piece off the website, a card of Homie's clowns figures. So that went out for 25 US. Let's see, the show. If you haven't seen the video about the show and heard kind of how it went, it was a little poorer for me than it was last year. Did $2,600 approximately, which is $1,400 shy of what I normally do at that particular show. For some of you, that may be a lot of money. For some of you, it may not seem like a lot, but still decent money, considering most items that were sold were under $100. I did sell one set of Pyrex bowls for $200, however, but most of the items were under $100, with the exception of, I think, one tin and possibly something else. But most items were under 100. So there was, oh, that was just Jake shaking. Anyway, there was another show on that same weekend in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan. So I suspect the crowd was a little smaller because of that. I think there was probably about 2,000 people less this year than there was last because of that. But unfortunately, this show has to book 4 years in advance at the location, so they don't really have a choice as to trying to move the show around to try to get different dates and such to not conflict. So unfortunately, that was the case. So there was a lot of Saskatchewan residents from that area that didn't come to the show, as well as Alberta ones that probably stopped at that show rather than the Saskatoon show, being that Lloydminster is closer to the, or pretty much at the border there. Anyway, so yeah, let's see. Oh, at the show, I didn't spend a lot of money buying anything. I bought a couple items, is about it. I bought a carving from my buddy next to me that I traveled with. He sold it to me for $5. He's had it for quite some time. He had 9 on it. I bought it for $5, sold it for $40 the next day. So that was good. It was a folk art carving of a northern pike, which was really cool. And the original price on the bottom of that northern pike was $87.50, I think. And it was made in 1989. So with inflation and such, the buyer got a pretty good deal anyway. So that's good. And it was a neat piece. Let's see. Also bought a glass sign for just a little foil sign, turn of the century, 19-teens, 20s maybe, that sold for $150 after I got back. Cost was $35, quite reasonable. I just paid the price because it was a good deal as it was. So yeah, made $115 on that, but it was bought by a dealer who will mark it up, and rightly so. It's probably a good piece. I suspect probably he could get 250 from the right buyer. I suspect. I don't see why not. Some of those particular pieces are going for pretty good money, and they're a chipped edge glass side, so they've got kind of a beveled, or not a beveled edge, but kind of a little chips out of the edge to make up kind of a border, and they're foil back, usually black with a silver foil on the back. And this one said meals, which was unusual. So, anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what's been happening. Like I said, I'm going on this pick. Hopefully it'll pan out, or rather a lead, rather. So it's an old general store, and I'm hoping that it holds some treasure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a long trip, 2 or 3 days out in the road. So yeah, or maybe 4 days, something like that. We're going to see. We'll see how it works out. I'm planning to do some other picking in that area as well, so we'll see what pops up. I'd like to come back with a van full, make it worthwhile. But considering the cost of things these days, it may not have a van full. But hopefully I can bring back some good and some interesting stuff. And then there's another show coming up in April, the Regina Vintage and Antique Show, Queen City Vintage, something like that. Queen City Antique Show, anyway, at the Caledonia Curling Club in Regina, coming up in about mid-April, I think 18th, 19th, something like that. So you can find it on Facebook anyway. Yeah, so that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and check out our other videos on antiquing, picking, thrifting, scrapping, etc. Take care, folks.